8 years ago was the launch of my first ever coaching company, GL Coaching. 4 years after that was the birth of Future Self Coaching. 2 years after that was the birth of the Future Self podcast. And it is now T-minus 9 weeks until the birth of the Living a Life Future Self retreat. The first ever retreat that the Coach Future Self brand is going to run. June 2nd to the 9th. 7 days. An experience of 7 days in Uluwatu, Bali. This episode is coming out on Saturday. It is the 9-week mark, the Monday following. That means there's 9 weeks for 8 individuals or up to 8 individuals to join this experience. There's a few spots gone already. So 3 out of the 8 are taken, which leaves 5. But I'm so open and interested in running this retreat, any number up until the 8. I wrote a caption for a post that I want to share to you, which is a 60 to 90 second insight as to what is the retreat, who it's for, how it's going to run. Then you and I are going to sit down. I'm going to explain it for the next 10 or so minutes, just diving into why am I doing it? Why is it a thing? How did it come about? And the little insights into how it's going to operate. Trapped is where most people stay because they live a life of avoiding doing the hard. Over the last 8 years of coaching humans, leaning into the hard is the single most impactful factor of long-term success. Yet we notice rarely anyone advocates for it. 7 days, a 5-part progressive story from your flight in to your flight home, with the outcome of leaving this magical place as a person you have never been before. In the heart of Uluwatu, Bali, 8 people, the Future Self living approach, and a detailed, intense support network to evolve the person you enter as, struggling, lost, stuck, unhappy, directionless, or feeling helpless, into the person you leave as, self-respecting, disciplined, educated, aware, having faced fear, hard tasks, and a beautiful relationship with yourself to continue to grow when you get home. An intense experience of 5-star group accommodation, private chef, workshop, group practices, journaling, training, pushing limits, meeting yourself at a depth, day trips, and a whole lot of reflective and collaborative ownership. This retreat is for the person knowing they are able to be more and is not for the person that blames everything in their life bar themselves. Living a life future self is never a life you will regret, but missing this once a year opportunity could be something you do regret. We will see you on the other side. So I mentioned 7 days, 5 parts. I have it right here. If you go onto the website, it has a full breakdown of what it actually is, the 7-day step, the 5 parts in which we focus on working on, but resistance, awareness, physical discomfort, emotional exposure, mental endurance, your future self misogi, and then 2 free days / a reflective day and heading home. It's almost cliche for me to sit here and say who this retreat is not for, but it's very, very important, because although the advocacy of who it is for is a way to share an insight who should be going, it's very important to preface who this is not for. So it's not for those that fight being held accountable, aren't willing to be honest with themselves, not receptive of new, different, or unknown, only blames others or things for faults in their life, people who want quick fixes or a challenge style approach. Again, hard things. So many pathways stem from doing hard things. There are many regressive pathways that stem off it. If you're avoidant, if you're a blamer, if you're a finger pointer, if you don't take any ownership, and there's many progressive pathways that stem from it. If you lean in, if you take ownership, if you take accountability, if you're willing to own the role in your life that you play and the outcomes that come from that. Now, when you see most retreats, there's 2 styles. There's exploring a life in another country, partying and having fun, or there's the boot camp style. Both hold their place and their role in so many different lives and so many different journeys. Yet this one is a little bit different because it's not a boot camp, and nor is it a going to another country just to fuck around for 7 days. This retreat is an experience in which you're exposed to the dynamics, the approach, and the way of living your life future self for 7 days, facilitated by 2 coaches. 7 days, 8 people, 2 coaches. It's a very personal, it's a very one-to-one, it's a very detailed experience. It's not one of these retreats in which you're a number in the background, you can fly under the radar, you can stay at the back of the pack. 8 people doesn't give you a lot of opportunity not to step up, grow, or evolve, which is the whole fucking point. You don't invest money, time, energy, setting things up at home to allow you to go somewhere just to sit at the back of the pack. Now, when I say it's not a boot camp style, this retreat is not a get up at 4 a.m., go for a run around the block, eat only fruit and vegetables, then have another training session, and then sit there and be told what you're doing wrong, and then have another training session and be forced to go to bed at 7 p.m. This retreat is an experience of what it is like living a life, showing up for your future self, taking ownership, doing hard things, being exposed to new perspectives, new ways, new approaches, new thoughts. It is leading with self-respect, leading your daily actions, what you do, and how you set up a day or a week through self-respect. It is going to be taking on new perspectives, being held accountable for the way you think, the way you act, or what you do now. It's also going to be a retreat where doing hard things is a process which you are supported through, you learn better, and you build a closer relationship with it. It does not matter what you do in your life if you are an avoidant individual when it comes to hard things. Whether that hard thing is getting up early or having a nice bath, whether it's trying new food or owning a part in your life in which you're at fault, whether it's learning to not just blame people, things, work, your partner. It's altering the way in which you live your life where it's, that's just who I am. It's not living life that way anymore. That's who you're choosing to be. That's how you're choosing to act. That's how you're choosing to respond. This retreat is about being put in an intense environment that is abundantly supported, guided, and handheld, where you are asked gentle questions to own, tough questions to accept, and progressive questions to allow yourself to meet you at a level and depth you've never met yourself at before. Now, I said a 5-step process, 5 steps, 5 days, okay? The way this has been mapped out is a story-like journey, and we've planned this intentionally. You're not just rocking up and doing random things from day one. It's a story-like timeline in which day 1 allows for day 2. Day 2 allows for day 3. Day 1, 2, and 3 allows for day 4. It is a building storyline that allows day 1 to support day 7, in which over the course of those 7 days, you're building a relationship with yourself. You're learning to do hard things. You're interested in challenging yourself. There's a support aspect. It's doing a little bit of hard stepping stone to the next level, doing a little bit of hard stepping stone to the next level. You are not getting there and on day 1 being thrown with the most diabolical, unrealistic shit where you're scrambling, you're struggling, you're forced to do things you've never done before. There is a very consciously mapped out approach and a strategic planning of a storyline like approach, a timeline of the 7 days. So when you get there on day 1, it's all about resistance awareness. That is a focus on all things in your life. What are you resisting? What are you struggling with? What are you avoiding? What are you not owning? What are you not accepting? What have you downplayed? What have you pushed back? What have you avoided overall? That's day 1. Workshopping, learning, owning, having some hard conversations accepting some uncomfortable truths, but setting the foundation that you are there to change your life. It's not this blasé facade bullshit for 7 days. When you get there, it's about looking back within, being facilitated and supported in a way that has the right questions, the right conversations, the right probing from your two coaches, allowing you to do so. Day 1 flows into day 2, which is a physical discomfort. Now, hard. We all avoid hard things. Physical discomfort is a very, very fast tracking way to learning the enjoyment towards hard things. So day 2 is about physical discomforts. Things that aren't going to be dangerous, things that aren't going to hurt you, but things that are going to be uncomfortable. Now, discomfort is a feeling. Learning that feelings don't dictate your actions. They're mutually exclusive. We often connect actions to feelings, but day 2 is all about this realization and understanding that feelings don't dictate actions and discomfort brings good outcomes. Day 3 is an emotional exposure. That is the third day where the most significant conversations, workshops, thoughts, and moments in the retreat are going to happen. Emotional exposure. Again, we talked about then how everyone acts through their emotions. They connect action and emotion. Day 3 is all about progressing that, refining that, and understanding it on a deeper level. Now, we are so aware that you're in Bali. For some of you, it's going to be a trip you've been to before. For others, it's going to be the first time you're in a new country. So day 4 is all yours. It's your fun day. It's a day where you can sit with the others and reflect. You can talk, you can go hang out, you can explore the beaches, you can go to restaurants, you can go do a fun activity. Day 4 is all yours. We're still there. We can do things with you. We want to do things with you, but whatever you want to do that day, whether it's take it completely on your own and spend it reflecting and journaling and planning for when you get home, that day is yours entirely to do exactly what you want to do, whether you treat it for fun or reflection, whether you maximize being overseas or you spend it diving deeper yet again. Day 5, mental endurance. Now, endurance states doing something over a prolonged period of time. That day right there is the most significant day out of all of the days so far. But again, why would it not be? Because it's a story-like journey in which day 1 supports 2, 3 supports 4. So day 5 is mental endurance. This is the day that's going to test everyone there. This is the day that's going to move the needle, shift the perspective, change your fucking life. Because when you learn that you can do more than you think you can, when you can push past the feeling of wanting to stop, that's when things really, really evolve. When you have the endurance and perseverance to see something through, no matter how tough it feels, no matter how hard it is, no matter how uncomfortable it is, no matter how gross the feeling is, you become a version that you have not yet been in your life. Mental endurance has done more for me personally of my own self-development than anything. Now, day 5 supports day 6, future self Misogi. Now, Misogi is, in this day and age, an approach in the kind of fitness industry that's not talked about very often. It's a little bit niche. It's quite rare for people to know. Now, the original Misogi is a Japanese ritual in which they would do something hard. It was of the essence of doing something uncomfortable or hard, an uncomfortable or hard-like exposure. Then Misogi in the fitness world became something in which you do one thing that is the hardest thing you've done at the start or just at the very end of every year that sets the tone for the year following. Something so hard that it alters the course of the 364 days following it. So for me this year, my Misogi was an Ironman 70.3, which was the hardest thing I've done to date. A Misogi is about doing something so incredibly hard, it alters the course of your life. But again, hard's a feeling. It's not a dictator of if you can or can't. Day 6 is your future self Masogi. We've needed day 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to allow for day 6 to come about. Now, this is yours to pick, yours to choose. But if you're worried you're underselling it, you don't know how to pick it, or you're totally lost, we will choose it for you. We want to get to know you so deeply, personally and intensely over the course of the retreat. We want to know you so well that picking your Masogi is easy for us to do. We want to spend so much time talking, asking, questioning, sharing. This whole experience is about doing things together, but it impacting your own individual journey and life. Building a tight bond with humans so interested in changing their life to the extent that you are yourself. No one's going to invest X amount of money, a full week, buying a plane ticket and going over to another country if they're not taking this serious. So you have to understand you're surrounded by 8 individuals plus 2 coaches that are treating this so fucking serious because it's so impactful and so important. Conversation changes lives because conversation is perspective, and different perspectives allow you to see in which you don't see yourself. Having conversation pit get-togethers at the end of every day, meals together, reflecting on the day we did, reflecting on the hard tasks that we did together, talking about what you thought you were going to do comparative to what you did, talking about how you weren't going to push as hard and you ended up pushing harder. Talking about owning truths and accepting parts of yourself that you've shunned away and hidden for so long. Day 6 is the wrapping bow of this whole 7-day intense experience. Day 6 is the one that solidifies your future, that when you leave this retreat moving forwards, you are not the same person. Day 7's reflection and home. It is all about us reflecting, talking, reminiscing, highlighting, owning and accepting the things we did well, the things we wish we did different, what we're going to do moving forwards. It's about planning what you're going to do when you get home. It's about allowing yourself to set up a system and a structure with the support of your 2 coaches so you don't get home on your high horse and then over the next 7 days it drops down. It's about strategic planning and support in which when you go home, life is not going to be the same as when you left home for day 1. One of the biggest things about this retreat that is important for me as the head coach of Future Self is exposing humans to what most people don't do or don't want to accept or own that have changed my fucking life. Speaking truth to myself, doing hard things, taking ownership, sourcing different perspectives, not just sitting in this ball of that's who I am, that's how things are, that's what I was born with. That real blaming that things can't change. You can always change. Life allows choice. Life allows choice. And it is up to you whether you stay at a 6 or you move to a 10. If you're at a 7 and you're fine with that, if you want to stay stuck at the 4 out of 10. You have complete control over who you are, who you become, what your skills are, what your weaknesses are, what you focus on and what you forget. You are the author when it comes to writing the script of your life. This whole retreat is about giving power back to people that feel lost, feel stuck, feel unsure. Now, I'm so aware that a retreat's not a small investment. I've always spoken about coaching, how I'm not the cheapest coach, and investing in your health and fitness is not a cheap investment. But what amount of money and time and effort can you place on life's enjoyment, on your mental health, on your physical health? I've been coaching for 8 years. And it is going to be a concentrated exposure of 8 years of my fuck ups, my lessons, my refinement, my progressions, my insights. You're gifted that in 7 days. 9 weeks. I can't wait. There is plenty more about the retreat to come. One more potty, another few more social posts. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. If not, I will link the socials pages in the description so you can reach out and ask there, or go on the website. Look at the information, how it's broken down and how it's spread out. There is an application part on the website. Go into it, tell us your story, share your insights, and send it through. We are such in a position where we want to facilitate and support anyone getting to this experience, whether that's payment plans, whether that's little niche details, personal things, whatever it may be. You can talk to us about it. You can message. We're here in advocation for you, not in advocation of you having to stick to a certain set of rules or expectations. 9 weeks, it's ticking down. I can't wait. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.